Hello, everyone. I'm having an extra good day today. So, I was thinking about making a video that talks about certain people in life that, if we're not aware of them, they can cause a lot of havoc in in our existence here on Earth. So, those people um, are they go by many names, but we'll just call them controllers and manipulators. Or haters is even another one that is less buzzwordy or whatever. So, um, what I'm going to talk to you today about is the three main signs, the three tactics that these people use to try to wreak havoc in your life and to try to control you, put put you under their thumb and in their back pocket, all that stuff. And how if you invite these people into your life, if you don't have a certain level of strong boundaries, that these people will walk all over you and your life will be absolutely destroyed. And even afterwards, you'll go through life expecting to see them around every corner because they are everywhere. But um, if you set up these strong boundaries and you know what to look for, you're much more likely to be able to get free of these haters. At least to have less of an emotional reaction when you do confront them, or you do face them or find them in your life. So, first off, um, I've kind of had my own experiences with manipulative people over my entire lifetime. I'm 34 years old, and I think from the very start, I've had many people who are trying to squash me, bring me down a peg, make me feel like I'm less valuable, so that they can feel better about themselves and their path. So, yeah, it's been a long time. I've had, especially if you're someone who doesn't necessarily have a strong self-esteem or self-worth, who hasn't learned self-compassion, and you don't have the ability to love yourself, or you are quite yet. Um, yeah, it's a good step in the right direction to actually get to practice self-compassion and to realize that you can be grateful for who you are. As long as you're not doing terrible things, then you're not really someone that I think you should overwhelm with shame, right? And that's their tactic. But anyways, before I digress into madness, um, I think that the reason why it's important to notice these tactics is because these people they don't think like empaths. They don't think like regular people. They are playing a game. They are like basically after your soul. I know that's kind of hyperbole, but still, it really does get like this. A lot of people don't understand how prevalent this is in society, but we're starting to wake up to this phenomenon. So, my personal experience with these people has been that I have been a very creative person over my entire lifetime. I've always done something creative, whether it was writing or drawing or making music or storytelling. I don't know. It's just always been something, singing, making films. It's always been something that's been with me, and I think that there's been a lot of people who doubted me and thought that my plans were hogwash. They pretended to like it, but they never supported it, you know. And I'm not asking everyone to like completely support me, but eventually I'll find my right audience. What I'm saying is, I've had people almost ruin my life, almost end my life due to substances. I had overdoses, and I've just been in terrible situations that could have been fatal. because of people that weren't, that it's not only that they weren't looking for my best interest, is that they actually wanted wanted me to be in a constant state of fear, right? Because it's easier to control someone if you're afraid and confused. So yeah, and that's part of it. So I'll start off with the first tactic, which is love bombing. Love bombing, obviously, now that I've said it, that's one of the key tactics of a narcissist. Um, it's it's just for someone who doesn't get a lot of praise from the outside world for their creative endeavors or for whatever you happen to be doing. It seems almost too good to be true, because it is, when people give you unending attention and praise and just think you're the best thing ever or whatever, without really delving into why. And it can be intoxicating at first, and these people know that that's what they're trying to go for. And yeah, basically, if you have someone who comes on a bit too strong, it's usually because, you know, it's an illusion. And my own stories with all these people, it's like, we know these things are true. We know that the praise that we're getting is kind of from a place of just shallow. Do they actually care? Do they like it? But we don't take that as a red flag, because we're so deprived of that attention, especially as artists, that that we'll look for it in places that we shouldn't. But essentially, this kind of goes downhill eventually, and then you wonder, like, where am I going? It's just, this is one. If you were to have like a triangle, and it works like a wheel, it's continuously spinning wheel to keep you under their thumb. The first one is love bombing. One corner of it's love bombing, and that makes you want more of them. That makes you want to essentially get more attention from from what you perceive as being sincere, because you're a person probably that values being sincere and values being straightforward and nice and considerate, right? When these people use that as a tactic, as like, anyways, I'm repeating myself. Anyways, so the second tactic is one that's a bit more subtle, and it's hard to really take note of. But if you do take note of this, if you're around someone who ends up doing this tactic, and you're aware of it, just take note of it, because it might be worthy of your time to maybe distance from that person. And this is confusion. And the best example of confusion is that I can give is that it's just like, if they criticize someone or something, mostly it's someone else. If they criticize someone else, a celebrity, it could be another friend, it could be an acquaintance, but it seems almost incessant that it's about something that is seemingly like unrelated, or it's something that like it doesn't matter, or it's just confusing, because like, why would anyone care about something so, like, for instance, what is it? I saw what's her face walking around, and she was wearing a really nice coat, and I said hi to her. She's a really nice person. And then this other person, the manipulator, would be like, well, yeah, but you know, she likes country music, and she has a weird eye twitch or something, like I don't know how to do it, because I'd like to think I'm not one of those types of people, but it's just something arbitrary something arbitrary. Like my example is when I was talking about an artist that I love, Pendulum. Uh, the person, of course, shut it down and thought, "Oh no, it's easy. It's easy stuff. It's just you have to use automations." And I'm like, "Well, a lot of people use automations. I don't know why that." It was a really like subtle thing where he like shot it down, said it was easy, and said that you had to use automations. And I'm like, well, that's a part of producing. People use automations all the time. I don't see how that. And it made me think. I was like, what is he talking about? And every artist I would bring up, not good enough, not good enough. Whatever. It's easy. I wish I had her fame. Blah blah blah. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, can't you just be happy for people? Like, I don't know. Anyways, that is it. What they'll do is they'll say something to put you off kilter. They'll just, and that's the second part of this triangle wheel. This metaphor I'm trying to make. That was a terrible triangle, but you know what I mean. Confusion, love bombing. So it's positive. Then it's something arbitrary and weird and to knock you off kilter and make you just like, I think this part is, as well as this part, to make you kind of numb to whatever it is they're saying. So there'll be a random like, yeah, I'm the greatest. Whatever, they're going off on a tangent. But they're creating a pillow, like a pillow cushion around their person where you think, oh, that's just their crazy self, blah, blah, blah. And that's what a lot of people think that aren't in their life very often. But if you're one of the types of people who get completely isolated and victimized by these people, essentially you see the story a lot different. So confusion, knock you off kilter with positivity, knock you off kilter with just arbitrary weird criticism of other things. Because I mean, this is the kicker, right? If they arbitrarily criticize other people for like random ass things, what are they going to say about me? What random things am I doing that's wrong? So it kind of keeps you at a level of like, you know, should I be wary? But at the same time, again, they have that cushion, that padding that makes you think, no, it's just whatever. They don't. And unfortunately, that leads to a lot of disappointment. So rounding out this, even though it's a triangle, there is the third tactic, which I guess it fits into confusion as well, but confusion on itself, like the intention to confuse people, is part of it. That's why I make it its own kind of point on this triangle. But the third one is devaluation. When you get further along, they'll accuse you of things. They'll accuse you of victimizing them. They'll accuse you of, even if you're trying to be positive, especially sometimes if you're trying to be positive, or if you say like, I've had a great day, they say, well, I've had a terrible day. Why are you making me feel like crap? Like they try to devalue what you're doing. If you have a win, it's not a good enough win for them. And if you like a certain artist, the artist's not actually that great. If it's just always these things of devaluation, and they are essentially trying to devalue what you find as a human being to be the most valuable. They're trying to convince you that whatever you love isn't good enough, and they'll do whatever they can to continue doing that. And with that cushion, you don't really care about it at first, but as the time goes on, it starts to really wear down on you. This grinding wheel, right? And essentially, emotionally, it doesn't seem like anything's happening at the start, but when you're too deep, you realize, you look back, you're like, what the heck happened? So yeah, that's how I look at it. If they devalue other people, and then try to confuse people with arbitrary things that you don't even pick up on, you're not even like aware of why they're trying to say this. You're just like, that was weird. And then the love bombing, they're like, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. Oh yeah, why? Well, I don't know. And it's like, no, there has to be content and reason. There has to be like, like detailed reasons as to why people like you. If they're just saying they like you, it probably doesn't mean much. Yeah, you know what I mean. So, anyways, this cycle, it's they all kind of reinforce each other. The confusion, the shame, or no, sorry, the shame's the top one. The devaluing is shame, confusion, and flattery. If we were to look at it in those respects, we would call it shame, confusion, and flattery. So that is my best way of summarizing it. And sometimes you really do have to be careful about the people that you have around you. Like, as much as anyone has said negative things about another person or a group or whatever, if someone does it incessantly, and if you get a bad vibe from a certain person, I'd look into it, because I personally have gone from a lot of friendships to friendships that have all had a characteristic of this kind of thing. Because of my neurodivergence as being ADHD, sometimes I don't see what's going on, and it can be very disastrous. So I hope if you can gather anything from that, just be aware of those tactics, and I hope you don't have to deal with people like this very often in life. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and stay frosty.